People deluded, I'm back again.
Come on, Ian, man. Come on. Thank you very much for that, Ian. Right, I could take it from here. People deluded, I'm back again. Allegedly, it's a massive week where Arsenal are concerned. We've got Vini's contract negotiations at Real Madrid. We're hoping, the dream is free. The hustle is sold separately. Barcola's got 130 all the way to 150 million price tag on his head. What do we make of that? We've been re-linked in the last hour with John Stones. Danny Welbeck's been linked with Chelsea. David Ornstein's dropped that, man. It's a bit of a madness. So there's madness going on. Bruno Gomares is even in the news and things of that. We've got a lot to discuss. Hand of Arsenal spoken. Fabrizio Romano has spoken. Who else is that? You get the point in it. All of them are speaking. Right now, we ain't riz up nothing. Big up Zolis, but we've got Zolis. We've got Hincapié on a permanent, and we have Millier. It's not how you start, it's how you finish. And I know you shouldn't look at it like this, but I've seen the pictures where we're jetting out to Spain. Gabriel Jesus and more so Reece Nelson. You, man, I can't lie, man. We need to take the hardline approach. You, man, shouldn't be allowed to forward out there, man. You need to cut. Appreciate you, Karma. Potentially a big week for us. Let's hope. We hope, we pray, and all of those things, people. And I see a lot of people, my guys, oh, you're so negative. I don't want negativity. One thing that pisses me off about content, a different opinion is not negativity. And it's like, I have optimism about Vinicius Jr. I don't think it's going to happen. I'd love to be proven wrong, but I don't have blind optimism. Do I think we can present a project to Vinicius Jr.? Do I think if Real Madrid look to sell, us and a number of clubs can throw our hat into the race? Yes. But again, you look at the initial report from David Ornstein, like that, away from the headline, and actually what said, no club-to-club contact at this moment in time. Whereas the only encouraging thing I've got is that all levels of Arsenal are on it, in it, if it could happen. But no club-to-club contact. No guarantee a deal materializes. So how can you have blind optimism and just get excited, people? I can't be excited for excited's sake. I'm hopeful. These are the kind of statement signings you want to see. Of course, as a fan, as we're moving into August, happy new month in advance. If we don't link up between now and then, you do want these signings, but you get the point, man. Biryani, Rice, DG, big week for us. Let's get moving. Robert said 90% of the players we get linked to end up elsewhere. It's not negativity, it's just experience. And it's just, bro, it's gaslighting. Any opinion that's not blowing hot smoke is not negativity. Anything, like even if everything was negative, anyone that's got a different approach is not positivity. And this is why, for me, I don't really care. People can say what they want. Those who get it, get it. Those who don't in it. Big up the Kenyans, man. I don't know who's promoting me in Kenya, but big them up because I see a lot of comments. Kenya. So big up the Kenyans, them, man. Live from Nairobi, Kenya. Best gunner, deluded gunner. Guna, but it's cool. Let's Bruno 39, one right back and one left back as usual. Also integrate Ethan into the first 11 successfully. Ethan's a techie one because things that I think go in Ethan's favor is I do think they like him at Arsenal, specifically Mikel Arteta. I do think maybe at least, he could take advantage in pre-season and remind Mikel Arteta of his talent. Obviously, players, there's staggered returns in it. A couple people have been participating at the World Cup. He could use that to his advantage. Also, if, God forbid, because I don't want him to, if Wanyeri was to depart, I wonder when that departure happens. Now, obviously, for offer is lodged, you've got decisions to make. But, Odegaard's on a break, Eze's on a break. There's, at this moment in time, there's no Bruno, there's no this. In terms of Ethan, he can cover a couple of positions, in it. So you might not even necessarily leave within the first couple of weeks of the season commencing. Obviously, at some point, the window's open as well as the season. But I just think Ethan could be a moneymaker. It could be a means to an end. And you know what? Some might say, if shot in Ethan, you get your little 50 or whatever, and that's put on top for Vinicius, it's a necessary evil, man. Big up the Guna channel. Make sure you're subscribing, man. Got a lot of time for him, man. I will keep saying this. I need to get you on this platform. It's crazy how people reacted to Ornstein just saying that Arsenal would be interested in Vini. No firm links or even contact between clubs. This is just wishful thinking on a slow news day. And that's what I mean. It's like, by all means, think, like the penny drops, we can get him. But that's what I'm saying, Guna channel, in that when you actually look at what has actually been said away from the headline, there's nothing to get excited about per se. Like, and it just showed me, I can't lie, I think football brings out all the emotions, but I don't think people read. Like, I genuinely don't think people read. If it was a mad optimistic article and saying medicals and talks, then great. If it was a lot more pessimistic, then yeah. I think the vibe I got from David Ornstein was Arsenal have an interest. We're receptive to what could happen, but there's nothing going in beyond that. And then even that, like, where the superstar signings, I'm conflicted because naturally we ended our 22-year drought. We got to we got to a Champions League final. You go back to when we went out against Bayern Munich, and the Athletic were coming out with all them articles saying, listen, there's a recognition at Arsenal that we need players with stardust and different makers. Now, I don't think we've got that. And I understand it's difficult because this is why you keep hearing me say things like, Do we find the stars before they become stars? Granted, development, all of these conversations, but look at Vinicius Jr. He didn't end up at Real Madrid. He didn't end up at Real Madrid via the Cristiano Ronaldo route. You know, humble beginnings at Sporting, becoming a world-class player at Man United, naturally, obviously going to Real Madrid. They bought him when he was in Brazil. And then he's developed then. And that might even make it even harder for Vinicius to want to depart because of that affiliation. So I am on that side of, do we find Kvaratskhelia before he's a household name? Vini and Rodrigo and all these guys in Brazil. Half the players we're linked with. Bruno, for argument's sake, in Lyon. You know, Salah, when he's called a Chelsea flop, he's gone Italy. And then obviously you've seen him go to Liverpool. Mane when he's at Southampton. Do we take that approach? Because even looking at some of the names we're linked with on paper, if we could get, I think of the names I'm about to say, Bruno's the one I'm the most optimistic about. And even that pinch of salt type of stuff, medicals, fees need to be agreed, people need to hold shirts, all of that kind of rhetoric. But when I even deep it, and I don't, granted, I'm just an armchair expert, but to me, to Vini, it could be a bit of game. He could genuinely want to leave. It could be a game of chicken. You know, Vini might not want to leave, but he might be prepared to leave. Real Madrid might not want to sell him, but he might be prepared to go. I know some of you are mentioning Jose. There's obviously the dynamic between Mbappe and Vinicius, whose team it is. But for me, it's like, I just assume Vini's priority is to stay at Real Madrid. That's one. Two, where I look at Julian Alvarez, who's probably been overshadowed in terms of the names linked. You got Vini, who I think we could be receptive if he doesn't sign a new deal. Julian Alvarez seems like his first priority is Barcelona. It seems like Barcola's more ongoing Liverpool because for the best part of a year, they've been putting the groundwork, not to mention 130 mil. That's a myth. Nobody that cares about Morgan Rogers right now. He's not here. But now, you know, the Morgan Rogers failed pursuit. So where you look around, where are the different, like, obviously we could do the hindsight thing. Like I guarantee not a lot of Liverpool fans expected Salah to do what he did, didn't it? And the conversations they had when Salah eventually leaves versus when he actually arrived are very different. But you look around, there's not really and truly all them kind of stars there. So where do we go from here? And I get it. Even me, and this is where I kind of wrestle with my brain, because if I'm honest, like, there's that. As much as I say, do you find the stars before they come stars? You have to wait for the emerging stuff. And then when you put your fan cap on, we ended our drought for the Premier League. We've got to 2 finals. You know, the way Josh was talking, the way Arteta's been talking, what we know of Berta, I know people are onto him, but it made you think, oh, stars and that. But it's difficult, man. It's a techie one, man. And again, this is why I keep saying profiles, because going for Vini and Rogers and Gomares, if you get them, then great. If you don't get them, make sure you get those, you address those areas, in it. DG, with Bruno, we haven't done any talking there as well. It's just Kaya doing the talking with Newcastle for fees. What does Big Berta even do at Arsenal, bro? We're just going to have to give him a 10. If Vini leaves on the free, he'll make millions just like Mbappe did. Real Madrid might not want that to be the case, but it's going to be hard for them to sell him on the wages he's on. Yeah, but even us, if you're getting involved in the Vinicius Jr. conversation, if there's 10 players, 9 times out of 10, you might do with other players, in you know, the wages, this, that, and the other, bro. To a degree, you can't be silly, but you have to. He's an exception to the rule, innit? You have to be able to you know what comes with it. The signing on fee, the wages, the knock-on effect that has around other negotiations, all of that kind of stuff, which is why I said in that Athletic article, provided all the other dominoes fall into place, that's where I get the optimism, because it appears everybody at Arsenal is on that, understand what needs to be done to bring Vini to the club. But beyond that, it's a madness. And you can't even rule out him going into the season with a year left on his deal and signing a new deal. We've seen man leave for free. We've also seen people sign new deals. Just seems like a game of chicken between Real Madrid and Vinicius Jr. The negotiations have been going for the best part of a year, but who knows, man. Krupi has been on strike. Now he's being linked to Chelsea, Barca, PSG, and others. Why are we generally not on that as a reliable option? Has he actually been on strike? I've seen him being linked with clubs. Barcola going to end up Liverpool. If he does, PSG will sign Vini. Why aren't we going for Osman Diamande if he's under 50 mil? Isn't he? That's a Sporting centre half, right? Ain't he going to Nottingham Forest? Almost feels like we're waiting for all the other clubs to run out of cash to move on the cheap. Listen, I wish I knew better, and Arteta, smash the like button, people, and all of these kind of guys there. I don't. So whatever your strategy is, whatever game of chicken you're playing, whatever moves you're making in silence, as long as the window's shut and you've addressed them areas and we feel that we can retain the Premier League, which you'd have to speak to a footballer in it. I don't know, because I think actually getting over the line, Lord knows in these last 4 years how difficult it actually is for a variety of reasons, injuries, psychological, etc. I don't know if that's harder or actually retaining. I actually think it's retaining, because it's one thing getting to the mountain peak. That's what I want to do. There's 2 things. And this is from a place of love at Arsenal Football Club, innit? Because I can't downplay the achievement, how proud I am of you lot getting over the line. But under the premise of this is all from love, and Not us not wanting to be in a flash in the pan kind of club and wanting to get to that next level. Last season relevant. No one's achieved nothing. Yeah. It's on DVD now. We did our thing. There's no more. It's back to work now. That's one thing. Two, obviously, and this is from a place of love. Arsenal haven't done anything I haven't seen in my 31 years prior to obviously winning the league. I've seen us win a league. I've never seen us retain it. I've seen us get to a Champions League. I've never seen us win it. So I want to retain, and I'd love to win a Champions League. Now, you know me, I'm not dreaming about the Champions League no more. I'd love to do it. I can't, people. Like, 2 finals now, took the lead within a whisker of completing the job. It is what it is. But I want to retain the Premier League because, again, I think people are underestimating Liverpool. I'm intrigued by City. I have to assume Liverpool and City are going to be the ones because apart from us, they've been the ones to win the league. But you look through a number of the top 6 clubs, we don't know what they're going to look like. They've got new managers. Obviously, you have to ban even Carrick as a new manager because he is. I don't know what you lot are going to look like. I know about us. I know we all know what we need to improve, what we're good at, what we're not, taking it to the next level. Arguably, as a club internally, from the fans to the players and the manager and everything, it all comes from a place of love. We need to be even harder on ourselves now because we're not challengers. We're winners now. Like, you get where I'm going. So whatever their strategy is, I hope it works, man. If Vini says no, Barcola to Liverpool, Kruby to Barca, who are we left with, bro? Then the scouts got to rise up the names then, innit? Because they have to, whatever strategy, you have to have plan A all the way to plan Z, man. So, yeah, man. Berta doesn't understand Mikel is the real dictator. And if he doesn't deliver and keeps fumbling, Berta is getting kicked out real quick. I think it's just the fact that it's actually public information that we're linked with a player of this level. I know it don't mean nothing if we don't get him, but we never even hear concrete links. I hear it. And I'm not saying you, D, yeah, but a lot of people, the same token, they'll say they don't want to hear links no more. Like, it's crazy. Man said, I don't read, just listen to DG. SLD, make sure you're reading. It's jarring because you know a lot of clubs in the league would have somewhat scam silly money for these guys. True. Selling needs to get better. Like, there's many things. It's never going to happen overnight. We can't rest on our laurels. I don't believe we are. You know, whether our approach and what happens and we look back in hindsight and it was good or bad, that's a question I can't answer. I'm here with you lot. Appreciate you, Rob. Hit the like button. Let's get the support going. Good afternoon, DG. Hope you're well and the family. Right back at you. Just been catching up on all your content. You're far too kind, man. Great job as always. Keep it up. Vinny is a must, but it depends on his contract. Exactly. Like, and obviously, it's annoying because if Rodrigo was fit, if this was Rodrigo and not Vinny, I'd actually believe it could be done. But Real Madrid are probably going to fight tooth and nail to keep him. I don't think the Diamande thing is relevant, if I'm honest. Yes, one attacker's gone. You could bring another one in. But other than that, I think it's dead because you see rumors all summer that they want a right winger. Like, Diamande can play. They can play off the left. I reckon he will play in both. But if it's Real Madrid, if I'm Diamande, yeah, I prefer to play on the left. But at the end of the day, it's Real Madrid. I have the chance to be the first Ivorian to play for Real Madrid. My life has been a movie. I've gone from being a refugee in America or Canada or whatever. In like 3 years, I've played in a World Cup. I'm about to join the biggest club in club football for 100 million. It's a mad thing, people, especially when you read his player tribute. And it's very touching, Yan Diamande's story, man. So, be interesting. Dermot, where you been, mate? Appreciate you. Michael, appreciate you. Let's get the likes up. All this talk of Bruno, Vini, only for us to end up with Kone and Rashford. Rashford can stay where he is. I wouldn't be against Manu Kone. Bruno Gomares is the one I want, but I think Manu Kone would be a good player for us, man. Guys, don't worry about Vini's wages. If he's available, we're breaking the bank for him. You have to break the bank. If you're not trying to break the bank, then you can't get him, can you? You might have been able to get the Vini that's in Brazil and he's 18 and he's played a couple of games. You got to remember as well, yeah, like Real Madrid know this, Vini knows this. He's one of the best players in the world in this position. He's a household name, you know. Obviously, Mbappe might want to be top dog. Vini might want to be top dog. But yeah, at Real Madrid, everybody has to bow to that, innit? And the collective comes first. And if you're Real Madrid, you can never have too many good players. He's 26. You know, you've got, I don't know him, but money isn't everything, innit? But you have to make as much money as you can. And unfortunately, he's 26. You need to get a very important contract. If you're Real Madrid, you want him for 4 or 5 years tied down. This is your most, especially when you're this caliber of player or in around that, you're 26. So I understand why it might, obviously I don't know all the intricacies of the deal, but I understand why it's taking this long. I reckon he signs a new deal. Of course, I want to be wrong. So yeah, man. Did you see that Chelsea trying to get Welbeck? Seems like they're really going for experienced players, you know. Granit, Danny Welbeck, they're moving like us in 2019, man. I'd be happy with Kone, can't lie, if he was fantastic at the World Cup and a cheap option. No one ever talks about the fact that the top 10 most expensive transfers in football all failed. I agree, scouts need to work some magic, find the players before they're a superstar. And that, you know what? And that's what I'm saying, because for me, of course, as a fan, you want to see Vini and them times there, you want to see Morgan Rogers, big money spent. You know, we're drinking the Kool-Aid, won the Premier League, it's been an Arsenal summer, but scouts have to do their job because there's not really value for market. You've got a limited amount of options. You either try your best to negotiate and then maybe overpay if it gets to that. You find the stars before they become stars, or you go for a different caliber of player. And to be honest, I would love Endrick, and not everyone's going to play at Real Madrid. And you know what? Endrick, Musintano, Arda Güler, I reckon Real Madrid would attempt to do the Odegaard route. And what I mean by that is they'll send you out on loan for a couple of years before it happens in it. And a lot of things, nobody wants to, very few players want to leave Real Madrid. Real Madrid make you leave. You don't leave Real Madrid. So it'd be difficult. But that's what I was going to say. I think I would be more receptive to rumors around Endrick, even though I don't know if it would happen, but Endrick, Arda Güler, Diaz, like all of those guys that if you're seeing £100 million Diamande, Vini being Vini, especially if he signs a new deal, Kylian Mbappe, Jude Bellingham, all these stars that you're looking like, oh, on one hand, it is a long season and that, but game time might be a bit peak. Nico Paz, all of these kind of guys. So yeah, man, it is where it is. Kone, Nusa, Osman, Diamande will cost like 150 mil combined. If Diamande signs, it does mean that they're done negotiating with Vini, though. It's either he signs what they're offering or they're offloading him. We'll have to see. Because again, there's a lot of dynamics at play. What I would say is Vini and Real Madrid, they're not going to make a snap decision. And you'd imagine they've anything could change, but you'd imagine they've calculated already. If Vini's actually dead set on leaving, he knows it's going to happen. And Real Madrid the same, and it's probably a divorce that neither party really wants. Now, if Vini recognizes I'm 26, all I've known is Real Madrid, I want to try something else, we can present it with a project. We dunked on Real Madrid ourselves. We won the Premier League. We're not Real Madrid, but excluding the historical ones that, regardless of if they're good or not, if we was to say Champions League favourites for next season, people are going to say PSG. They are going to say Barca, Madrid, Bayern Munich. We're like best of the rest competitive. As a team, we're one of the best in the world. As a team. We can give you a tough night, but as individuals, clearly you get where I'm going in it. So, and it's annoying because I think we need more than just this. Some of it's tactically, some of it's recruitment. But like, if we could just get a bit of stardust, man. If you could get these Vinnies and these kind of guys and keep Saka fit and doing what Saka's been doing when he was in his pomp, it's scary, but it's not scary for us, man. My theory is we pretend to push for Vini while we let Liverpool sign Barcola. Then Vini signs a new deal. Then Arsenal say we're late for Barcola. Then us fans would have been sidetracked. I wouldn't get sidetracked. And my thing is this: you can do all of that. That's cool. I can be happy if you get Vini, sad if you don't. I will time moves on. I will move on. My thing is make sure that window don't shut and you ain't addressed the areas. Names and profiles is what. No, sorry, names and status and transfer fees is one thing. Make sure that window closes. There's a left winger. We can finally put that conversation to bed. There's another central midfielder. You've got a defender to help us with those burdens and things of that ilk. So, yeah, man. Yeah, I did see that Chelsea stuff. Nico Williams, I wouldn't be against it if I'm honest. But unless you're going to... The dreamy targets, the Vinnies and all of that, there's not really a left winger that you could say wholeheartedly is the guy, really. I like Nico Williams and also don't like him. I'd rather Nico Williams over Rafa Leao. I know that much. Rashford, stay where you're staying, man. So, yeah, man. I'm getting a bit bored of exploring deals and rumors. Yes, we're excited, but we've been here before. It's hard to get my hopes up until the deals are done. I mean, I don't know what being excited. I don't see what there is to be excited about Vini, beyond the obvious. Some of you will criticize that. Some of you obviously heard what I'm alluding to. Like, for me, and everyone's allowed to do what they want, I'd be a fool to get excited because there's nothing that suggests we're signing Vini today. Interest, 100%, but no club-to-club talks. It's contingent on his contract. I don't know Vini. It's Real Madrid. All of these kind of things, man. So, yeah, what's Matoma up to these days? Yeah, no, leave Vini. Leave Matoma alone, man. This is like getting linked to Benzema and Higuain days. Vini ain't moving to a team he don't know for sure is contending on all fronts. He's more likely to sign for City than us, probably. But there's also a bit like I didn't think Ozil would join us or Alexis Sanchez would join us or Varane and Casemiro. Granted, they weren't in their final peak. They still weren't Man United. You just never know. It all depends how you sell the contract. And obviously, Vini's not an idiot. Anything that's not PSG, that's Real Madrid is historically a step down. PSG would be a good signing, though, and everyone will throw their hat in the ring. Should we see what's being said in the tabloids? Real Madrid will not consider any proposal below 160 million euros for Vini Jr. Now, there's a lot of isms and schisms. We're going to try our best to make sure we don't miss anything, but every journalist and their dog is offering their opinions. We've got 40 likes and 149 of you in here. Can we make sure we're smashing the like button? To the 40 of you that have, I take my hat off. We're muted. I'm going to take my hat off. And I'm going to, big up you lot smashing the like button. So there's nothing to be excited about, man. Let's get excited and just enjoy ourselves. Chill out, you lot. But excited about what? Enjoy yourselves. Go out, get fresh air, do all of this kind of stuff. Don't create crazy scenarios in your head, but get excited about what? Because I think, and this is from someone dyslexic, so I can say this. You're only excited about Vini at this moment in time on the 27th of July, bearing in mind with what we read on the Athletic article, if you're dyslexic or you cannot read. Because if anything, and I'm not telling you lot what to think, just think you lot should be like, man. You lot should all be, and very rarely say this, you lot should all be like me. I'm sorry, you should all be like me. Yes, we'd have Vini. You're excited about the conversations we could have. But beyond that, there's no suggesting that it's a reality at the moment, which I hope it is. I don't know how many times I have to clarify that. But yeah, everybody's offering all of their opinions in relation to Vini. This journalist has said, breaking, Vini Jr. wants to stay at Real Madrid. However, the club has no plans to improve their renewal offer. So there's a lot of gamesmanship. Jose Mourinho, who doesn't like Arsenal, wants to keep him at Real Madrid. And the club want him to sign new terms. But Arsenal are closely monitoring the situation. But it is what it is. Talks will center around trying to reach an agreement on a new long-term deal. Arsenal are interested in Vinicius and monitoring the situation closely. Real Madrid to discuss Vini's future this week. Meeting scheduled on Monday, which is today, between Real Madrid and Vini Jr. to discuss his renewal. Arsenal are waiting to see what happens. So ideally, for us, it's not going to bang. You're not staying at Real Madrid. What if he wants to stay? All right, Vini was in Jamaica as well. Vini, come on, man. Vini, retweet that. Vini. That's why I got a cousin called Romario. Brazil to Jamaica. Vini, come on, man. You've won Champions Leagues and all of that. Come on, Vinicius, Chini Jr. Come on. Arsenal are realistic about their chances of signing Vini Jr. this summer. They know it's a long shot. People close to Vini also believe a move to Arsenal would be difficult. Vini is now Arsenal's #1 target this summer. Arteta is in love with the idea of signing Vini. I hear it. But Arteta, you've done all you can. Like, your job is to help identify targets. Obviously, speak to a player if we're going to sign him. But dotting I's, crossing T's, moving finances. If it's owner to owner, that's with Josh Kroenke. If it's sporting directors, it's better. Arteta's job right now is just to pattern in training, like, and pre-season. So it's above him now, if I'm honest. So Arteta can win it. We can win it. The stars have to align. The poker chips need to fall in place, innit? Kind of surprised we aren't looking at Salvinho or Neto or Gittins. We're going to get on to Pedro Neto. If Berta waits for a big money move to then snipe a target whose surplus would be a masterclass, Vinny cough cough. Afternoon, my fellow champion. Big up social. Yeah, man, I'm moving dyslexic, bro. I would take Konza for a backup defender. They're not overvaluing him. That's not the right word, because he's an England international. The market's crazy. If life was fair, I think 35 million, if the market wasn't mad, is fair for Konza. Me, when you're seeing 50, 60, I'm sorry. Scouts do their jobs, man. Like, you found mascara, scouts do their job, man. Let's save a bit of peas. If Konza sign, I like it. I like if everyone's fit to have Konza in the mix. Actually, the one big attraction for me and Konza is actually not Saliba and somebody being able to play in his place. I mean, obviously, that is an attraction. It's actually his ability to play right back, because Saliba's thing has overshadowed the fact that Timber's had minor surgery. Ben White and Timber, we know one of them's going to break down, unfortunately. Would you take Kessie as a squad player? What's the date? 27th of July, 2026. Come on, man. Like, big up Back in the Net podcast. Are you Brazilian, bro? I see that shirt in the background, so I'm just wondering. 2030, there'll be 6. I was screaming for years. 2026 is our time. Arsenal need to put their foot down on Bruno Gomes and start moving, dominating the market. I honestly think that people overrate how much Arteta gets to choose the signings we make. Berta didn't join us just to be told who to sign by Arteta. It's a cohesive stuff, man. DJ, I'm being respectful, but Konza is shy. I'd rather that Diamande from Sporting or Lukeba. Diamande looks good. Lukeba's left-footed, isn't it? So it's not really the same. I used to think Konza was shit. I actually used to like him at Charlton. I never really liked him in the Prem. I don't rate him mad, but I've got a new self-respect for him. Like, I actually think he's a decent player. I wouldn't be against him in the squad. I'm not trying to move heaven and earth for him, if that makes sense. So, yeah, man. And to be fair, I understand if Konza, you won the Europa League in the Champions League, but you've seen a couple of key players cut from Aston Villa. as we always say, you never want to be the last person out of a rave when the lights are turning on and things of that ilk. You want to get out of there, man. So yeah, people, there's that. First thing we're going to read is the thing from Gary Jacobs in the Times, people, before we look at what Sammy Moltbell has said. Arsenal eye Vini Jr. as Real Madrid push for contract talks after impasse. The Brazil winger, 26, is entering the final year of contract with the Spanish club. But Arsenal would need to make him their best paid player to be successful in their pursuit. I think everybody here understands that. People have already written off Zolis. I feel sorry for Zolis because end of the day, he's signed for my football club. Everybody gets a chance. That's one thing. Everyone gets a chance. If you're shit, we'll call you shit. If you do well, you do well. One thing I think is a lesson for fans to learn from last year. I know no two summers are different. I understand the frustrations, bearing in mind we're Premier League champions. But and granted, from what I'm about to say, Zubi was there. But when we're looking at attackers, we had Noni. It looked shaky with Eze. It looked shaky with Gyökeres, with Vex. Suddenly, not to say Noni's moved heaven and earth, but when you brought in Eze, Gyökeres, Noni's an addition. It looks a bit different. So I feel sorry for Zolis if indirectly he becomes the statement signing. God forbid we fail in our pursuit to sign another left winger and we say there's no value. You know what? Zolis, Martinelli, there's an option of Eze out there. A couple man could be moved. Is what it is. Would you start Zolis or Nelly for the first game? I reckon Martinelli will, but you never know. If Arteta's impressed in training, gets up to speed tactically, I actually like the signing of Zolis, man. I'm careful because, you know, I did a video of Amenyes to come out later. He likened what he's seen to a bit of art and said people say he's moving a bit like Arshavin. I don't know why I said it like that. I think it's a Trossard thing. Now, those are big names, not big names, but big names in an Arsenal shirt, if I'm honest. So, yeah. Carrying on with this, though. Arsenal exploring a move for Real Madrid winger Vinicius Jr., but the Spanish club are hopeful of resuming contract talks with the star after an impasse. So, they're not quite at last option now where they've had enough. I said, Vini, safe. We've had enough now. There's no negotiating. They're still trying, innit? The Brazilian is scheduled to return to training after the World Cup, and his priority is believed to be staying at the Spanish club, where he's entered the final year of his contract. Arsenal are willing to spend big on an elite player to match Mikel Arteta's calls to show ambition after losing on penalties to PSG in last season's Champions League final. Vini wants to speak to Real Madrid about their new project. So, potentially, his priority is to stay. So, what we've seen here, and again, everyone's adding their own little whispers and stuff like that. His intention is to stay and sign a new deal. He wants to hear about the new project. Real Madrid want to keep him. Their manager wants him to stay. These are not things that I'm not even saying don't be confident, but how can you have you can have optimism, but you see you lot doing the keyword blind optimism. I think you're an idiot. I'm sorry. Like, everyone's allowed in the people, but that's an idiot thing. Like I said, and it's from someone dyslexic. You have to be dyslexic if you're 2 + 2 = 4. Some of you are getting to 25. How are you doing that? Anyways, yeah, he wants to speak about the new project under Jose Mourinho and his wages. According to Dario AS, a publication in Spain, the club have been willing to increase his salary after tax from 12.8 million to about 17.1 million. He has wanted a substantial signing bonus, which would bring his overall earnings to a similar level to those of Mbappe. Naturally, like, that is what's going to happen. If we were to sign a next man that is mentioned in the same realms as Bakayo and Rice, when it comes to renewing that, Don, is your agent not going to sit there and say, listen, I want parity? You'd be an idiot not to. Not everyone's going to get the same wages, but Vinny's within his rights to say the project. And even with the project thing, I don't think it's as snaky as this, but am I a key man? Or is it Mbappe's team now? Because something's got to give. How are you lot going to play me? Wages and all of that stuff, it needs to make sense. And I'm also, what we were saying earlier, I'm 26 years of age, bro. You're always going to have big contracts, but this 26 is, if you're going to sign a 4 or 5 year deal, things have to make sense. Like, overly make sense, man, if I'm completely honest. Mourinho's been looking at ways he can play Vinicius, Mbappe, Bellingham, and Yan Diomande in the same front line. Obviously, it looks like Diomande is going to go over there. Real Madrid had upped their offer to Vinicius since the contract talks began, while he has lowered his demand. So another thing, there's an intention to meet in the middle. They've upped what they want to give him. He's lowered his demands, trying to meet in the middle. However, the impasse has led to Arsenal to explore a deal after they failed to sign Rodgers, who joined Chelsea for 170 million. The Premier League champions would have to make Vinicius their top earner by some distance. His present contract was announced in 2023 and increased his earnings to over 5 years to a total of 64 million after tax. Bro, imagine that, 64 million after tax. Damn, I don't know where I'd start in terms of spending that. And also included clauses for further payments. Bukayo Saka, who is Arsenal's highest paid player, earns about 300k a week, which is about 15.6 million before tax. The 26-year-old who has won 2 Champions Leagues with Real Madrid and was runner-up in the Ballon d'Or 2 years ago. Arsenal have yet to contact Real, Last year, they had talks about signing the winger Rodrigo, Vinicius' club and international teammate, but it ended without a deal. Vinicius had 22 goals and 14 assists in all comps last year. Had a great World Cup where he got 4 goals in 5 games, people. If you've been living under a rock, where Gamara's is concerned, Eddie Howe on Saturday said, I don't know what's going to happen with his future. That's for other people to speculate about. There's conversations I'm not part of. He's captain of our club and has been an unbelievable player through the whole time we have worked together. I speak on behalf of everyone at the club. We absolutely love him, and of course, everyone would love him to stay. He's due back on the 31st of July, and there's nothing to say he won't be back. So yeah, we won 3-0 against MK Dons. Wanyeri, O'Neill, and Reece Nelson got on the score sheet. As it says there, we know we signed Zolis. Let's see what Sammy Motebell is saying. Real Madrid contract talks and Arsenal interest. What is Vini's future? There may be no more intriguing situation in the transfer landscape right now than Vini Jr.'s future. The Real Madrid forward is unquestionably one of the most high-profile footballers on the planet. The Brazil international joined Real as an 18-year-old in 2018, winning 14 trophies and scoring 128 goals in 375 matches for the Spanish Giants. To think they would have allowed him to enter the final year of his contract is perplexing, but that is where we are. In normal circumstances, according to industry sources, Vini's market value would exceed 200 million. Sounds about right, innit? On the pitch, that amount of money would get you a world-class left winger who is also adept at playing centrally, as well as a player whose age 26 is reaching his peak years. Off the pitch, you would be signing a global icon whose commercial value would be financially lucrative, which is, probably why the pros. Another reason as to why the pros obviously outweigh the cons of signing said individual, in it, essentially, people. 67 likes, let's keep going. Yeah, Real Madrid have tried to renew their attacker's contract and open further talks with him on Monday, but as of yet to no avail. His potential availability has alerted Arsenal, who are among the clubs to have internally explored exploiting the contractual impasse. So market opportunity, bit of a different one though, isn't it? Teams in Saudi Arabia are also monitoring the situation closely. Arteta wants to sign proven talent. Vini fits the bill. Sources close to Arsenal insist he's just one of a number of options the club are exploring in their search for a left-sided attacker after missing out on Rodgers. BBC understands Arteta has become so smitten with the notion of signing Vini that he's been viewed internally as the club's number one target. Arteta, I love it. We love it as well. But, Josh Kroenke, it's these men that need to chat to Perez and make it happen. As Arsenal discovered with Rodgers, there are no guarantees clubs attract their priority targets. Indeed, Arsenal are realistic. Keyword, let's listen closely. Let's say this a bit slower. Arsenal are realistic about their chances of landing Vini Jr. They know it's a long shot. Some of you don't want to hear that. Like I said, certain man are dyslexic. Similarly, there's a sense from those close to Vini Jr. that any move to Arsenal would be difficult. For most South American footballers, playing for Real Madrid or Barcelona is a lifelong ambition. Leaving the Spanish capital, even for a club as illustrious as Arsenal, would be viewed as, at best, a sideward step. Step down. It's Real Madrid. There's nothing wrong with saying that. With Real being arguably the biggest club on the planet, there is a sense that leaving the Bernabeu would also impact the player's commercial brand. Vini's receptive to renewing Real Madrid contract. Exactly. Talk over a new Real deal for Vinicius are expected to ramp up in the coming days. It's claimed the forward is still very receptive to renewing at the Bernabeu, but wants to feel loved. So again, Mbappe, do you not feel my thing as much as him? Recent reports have stated that new manager Jose Mourinho wants to keep all his big names at the club. I mean, if there's someone that can keep big names in check, it's got to be Mourinho, isn't it? But there's serious jeopardy for Real if they keep Vinicius without renewing his contract. The scenario of the Brazilian leaving for nothing in 2027 would represent a financial catastrophe, even for a club as cash-rich as them. I mean, it'd be a bit of a humbler. How much free transfers have Real Madrid benefited from, even this year? You'll forget Bernardo Silva's there. We're talking about all the guys they've got. With that in mind, resolving the situation one way or another is understandably viewed as a priority for Real before deadline day. As it stands, Vinicius can speak to rival clubs about a free transfer move away from Real at the turn of the year. Leaving on a free will be far more lucrative in terms of wages to the attacker than leaving this summer when the buying club has to find a transfer fee. Additionally, how much would Real demand for Vinicius? Is speaking about Eden Hazard. Vinicius Jr. is 2 years younger than at the time with Hazard and has a commercial value that exceeds Hazard. And that's not to mention the 7-year cost of inflation. It's clear that Arsenal would certainly need to obliterate the British transfer record of 125 million, which was obviously Isaac from Newcastle to Liverpool. Then there are Vini's wages to factor in. Recent reports suggest he earns in the region of 450k a week at Real, although sources indicate it's considerably more. At Arsenal, that would immediately make him the club's top earner by some distance. Obviously, Saka's on 400. Well, this what we just saw, it said 350. This says 4. I would love to know what the basic salary is, isn't it? Before the bonuses and all that stuff. But with Vini a year away from his Real contract expiring, it's simply not a case of merely matching or even slightly improving his money if he was to leave the club this summer. The nature of free transfers mean Vinicius could conceivably double his money next year. With that scenario now within reach, it is safe to assume the forward will almost certainly request a significant pay increase if he moves this summer. Having to find what is likely to be around minimum 130 million plus wages will be hard push for any club, no matter how rich, in the era of financial regulation. Arsenal, nevertheless, have analysed the numbers and believe they have the financial means to fund the move for Vinicius. It's understood the signing has widespread backing across the club, which is the only thing I'm optimistic about. In the past, Arsenal have offered players very generous image rights deals. This would be a key component of any agreement to take Vinicius to the Premier League. The wingers' advisors at agency Rock Nation will be fully aware of those factors. The fact Rock Nation also represent Martinelli, whose chances would be left severely limited by Vinicius' arrival, also makes for an intriguing subplot. I mean, there's only a certain amount of agents in it. There's going to be several players represented by the same agency, or whatever. It's understood Martinelli, who has up to 2 years left on his contract, plus the option of another one, is happy at Arsenal and will only consider leaving for an opportunity that suits him. Effectively, the leverage is almost entirely with Vinicius. Arsenal are unquestionably one of the most attractive projects in European football. They'll be one of the favourites to lift the Champions League next season, having lost on penalties in last season's final. They're in a very strong financial position too. But a move to North London would require Vinicius to relinquish the sort of leverage that most players, even of his standard, do not have. Perhaps most importantly of all, it would mean him giving up on being a Real Madrid footballer. Is he prepared to do that? We should have our answer soon. What do we make of that? Do we think he can? Sources close to Vini say they are not in contact with any other clubs, and to be fair, that's consistent. Arsenal's offer for Bruno Guimaraes is, in the words of one source, at least 10 million short of Newcastle's valuation. Romano did say over the weekend, we're set for new club to club contacts next week, which is now for Bruno. Personal terms in place and a new approach with Newcastle anticipated to proceed. 70 million proposal expected to be improved. Deal depends on Newcastle's decision on exit/price. And the TalkSport has said we're set to accelerate our talks for Bruno this week, people. We've made the Magpies captain our priority signing, and there's hopes of striking an agreement. Newcastle insists formal talks are yet to begin, which is annoying, but TalkSport understand verbal discussions are ongoing with Newcastle senior leadership now directly involved. Arsenal are prepared to pay north of 70 million. Guimaraes has broadly agreed terms. Newcastle will be left frustrated over speculation regarding his future, and insiders are surprised by Arsenal's lack of a formal bid. Yet Arsenal sources have told TalkSport 3 verbal offers have already been placed. The clubs clearly disagree on what constitutes a bid, which may in part be down to semantics and also the use of intermediaries. Newcastle can ill afford to lose their captain this summer, having already seen Sandro Tonali and Gordon depart. We know where they've gone. The departure of Guimaraes would see Newcastle lose 2 of last season's midfield 3, and they obviously have brought 1-2 players in. Guimaraes has 2 years left on his deal. The Magpies are allegedly under no pressure to sell after losing 2 of their key players already. And we've gone over what Eddie Howe said already, folks, so I'm not going to read the same thing. Big up Hand of Arsenal who's spoken. When David Ornstein exclusively reported on the 26th of June a proposal was sent, it was an offer below 60 million and it was rejected. You were then told no bid has even been made. This happened again and again. You were told no direct contact, no official bid. In early July, exclusively reported, Bruno respectfully told Eddie Howe directly he wants to leave if possible for sporting reasons. Fast forward to Thursday, widespread reports of a 70 million bid. My understanding is that that was also rejected in the past days. In our pursuit of our top target, Tonali, it became abundantly clear the agent fees, the wages, and the transfer fee was just not reflective of the player's quality and ceiling. During this pursuit, we were made aware of Bruno's desire and availability. Enter Kaya Jarupkin. If there is one thing to know about this individual is that he's not only is he a super agent, but he mingles in super wealthy circles and even enjoys purchasing very, very expensive horses with Premier League owners. Why is that relevant? Let me explain. My understanding is that Kaya has always been talking to someone very highly ranked within Newcastle. One may even suggest ownership level. Talks with Kaya, as you know, the type of circles he moves in. So this whole process, the verbal offers have been made in these discussions. The Newcastle press, and respect to all of them, have been reporting in good faith about no official offer, no direct contact, because no Arsenal employee has contacted them yet, and no official offer has been made. On July the 14th, I reported 80 to 85 million is where serious talks take place. Now you're hearing the number has to start with 80 for serious talks to begin. When/if Kaya makes a breakthrough on the fee and it's all agreed at high level, then the actual official bid will go in and things will move rapid. Bruno is obliged to join up with Newcastle this Friday. Kaya is still in talks. Feels like a really important few days. Arsenal will stick to their evaluation with Kaya really pushing for a breakthrough. I really hope this has cleared up the dual reporting and the process somewhat. Sorry for delay. Big up hand of Arsenal, man. Has he said anything else? What? No paragraphs about Vini. And have you not seen Romano and all them the verbal that's going on? But yeah, moving on. Vini wants to stay and Real Madrid want to renew him. The player will not make it hard. He wants to stay at Real Madrid. Once again, Sky Sports are now on it that Real Madrid will hold further talks with Vini's reps this week. Those discussions will center on finding an agreement over a long-term contract. Arsenal reportedly interested in the 26-year-old. Real Madrid want it resolved. This journalist said the club want to either have a contract renewal or a sale with no intention of letting the saga drag into the season. We are prepared to offer him the biggest contract in our club's history. Julian Alvarez will make another move to force his transfer to Barcelona. He'll do so in late July or early August at the latest. Barcelona are awaiting on his move to make an attempt to sign him. So it appears Vini's priority is to stay at Real Madrid and Julian Alvarez's priority is to go to Barca. So why are we pursuing these guys? Barcola will not sign a new deal at PSG. The decision is confirmed, says Romano. As reported, he's open to exploring a move this month and will not sign a new contract. Liverpool have Barcola on the top of his list. Apparently, Chelsea were rejected in their pursuit. PSG have set 120 million euros asking price, according to the Keep people. 4 Premier League clubs have registered an interest in signing the 23-year-old. However, it is Liverpool who are currently leading the race for the forward services. Football Carter reports that he's prioritizing a move to Anfield should the Reds be able to reach an agreement with his current club. City remain in direct club-to-club talks with Leo over Boardi people. We've signed the 16-year-old talent Axel, no way I can say his last name, from Cardiff, become one of the youngest ever players to represent Cardiff, which the last kid we got from Cardiff worked out. Chelsea are still on the pursuit of Alex Scott. He was linked with us. Allegedly, Jurien Timber underwent minor surgery on a groin issue over the summer. He's still completing his rehabilitation, but it's hoped he'll play some part of pre-season. Barcelona have reactivated their pursuit of Eli Junior Krupi in case they can't sign Julian Alvarez. Anyone having Camavinga? Apparently, Jose has directly informed him he will not have a lot of minutes. He still wants to stay. And are we going to shop in Chelsea's bins? Chelsea will demand a huge fee to sell Pedro Neto, with Manchester City, Liverpool, and Saudi clubs all circling. Signed for 60 million euros and contracted until 2031, Chelsea won't entertain anything less than a premium offer. Inter Milan and Juventus are both in talks with John Stones' camp over a potential free transfer. Negotiations are taking place this week with Stones open to Italy as next destination. Chelsea and Arsenal made approaches too. It's up to Stones. Romano has also said Barcelona have explored Eli Junior Krupi as an option over recent weeks in case Julian Alvarez deal doesn't advance. Manchester City also asked for infos on Krupi this month. Bournemouth want to keep him and insist no plans to sell. So there you have that, people. All depends what you want to read. So yeah, in short, it looks like a long shot with Arsenal. Stranger things have happened, but the dream is free. The hustle is sold separately. We always have hope. You hope for the best and you prepare for the worst, man. I'll believe it when I see it in it. But you know what? I would put the money down, man. So yeah, I would love Eli Junior Krupi. It is what it is. Let me get back to what you lot are saying. Let me scroll all the way up, people. I just thought, let me smash that out. What have we got here? Big up DG. The key to make this Vini transfer happen is to take action. Less monitoring, exploring, but initiating. Bid 135 million tomorrow and give Real Madrid and Vini a decision to make. I hear it. We haven't spoken in a minute about our new signings, but you're saying about Zolis. To me, it seems Fabio Vieira 2.0 and a new goalkeeper. I don't see the point of signing him to be our third choice keeper. He's only our third choice by default if Kepa doesn't cut in it, and I do think Kepa's going to cut. I disagree with him being Fabio Vieira 2.0. I'm actually quite bullish about Zolis, but I don't want to put all my hopes in it because I don't think it's fair in it, especially like because he's got to adapt to the league and all of that kind of jazz. DG, don't you think we should look at right back since White is staying and station White Mascara as a right-sided centre-back? Nah, I think we need a centre-half, man. Been a while since I caught a live. What's going on, my bro? Jerome, hope you're well and safe, man. What's the left wing/left wing back for Sporting who tried a madness against us with a cutting cross? Was a decent trial, if you ask me. I know you're talking about the long head, There's no point stressing about what you can't control. Berta is taking a patient approach to the window to get the best deal. He's experienced and he's been here. We might as well enjoy it. There's nothing to enjoy though. There's nothing to not enjoy. Like, everyone just get on with life. Big up, DG. Haven't been on a live since Arsenal became champions in England. Where you been? Since Arsenal won, are you still doing a live watch along of Attack the Titan? Oh, you still on to me about that. Hope I didn't miss it. Stay safe and healthy. A promise is a promise. We'll get around to it. The good thing for Zolis is that with there being little spotlight on him, maybe there's less pressure and that might help him acclimatize and settle in better. Hopefully surprises all of us. Yeah, but if you don't get another left winger, all the hopes are going to him. Chat, remember to hit the like button if you like the content. I want to see more. DG works hard, but he needs motivation like we all do. Let him know you're rocking with the content. You're far too kind. Big up the Twitch gang. Make sure you subscribe with Amazon Prime. Have you seen the new rule they brought in for keepers going down? English football agrees trial to eradicate the goalkeeper injury tactical timeout. Coach has 10 seconds to select an outfield player to leave for 1 minute. Applied this season across the Premier League, EFL, National League, WSL. Damn. That'd be interesting to see what's going on there. I mean, a lot of keepers waste time against us, but everyone will focus on David Raya. All this Vini talk, I have to see him saying he wants an Arsenal move to believe. Still dreaming, though. I hate to be that guy, but I don't buy this Vini Jr. stuff. I just don't see him in an Arsenal shirt. Would love to be wrong. DG, I don't think Vini likes Jose. Remember that Benfica racist thing? We're getting 2 and 2 and equal in a million. The shirt sales would be stupid if you got Vini. I don't know what's going to happen. Means he's gone. English people have a way of answering without answering. Last year, we linked with Rodrigo and didn't sign him. This year, it's Vini Jr. and we won't sign him. That's progress. Respect for what they did last few years, but it doesn't look like the Cronkies have the appetite for this new transfer climate. It's true, and I hear owner to owner, yeah, but I'm not defending the Cronkies. But at the same time, this is someone that I was on. I didn't go to no protest because I think it's pointless, but I was on the Cronky out thing. Is it Cronky's fault that you lot took long to arguably get this Morgan Rogers deal, the door open for Chelsea? We've seen Elliot Anderson and all these things. Bearing in mind, to us, we're finding this stuff out when we find it out. There's rumblings in the footballing world. They've had money. They didn't tell you to spend 65 million on Kai Havertz and all these things. And when I accept them for what they are, the club is in the healthiest position it's ever been. To be fair to the Cronkies, since they've taken full ownership, there has been money spent. I don't know them from nowhere, but it seems they put certain individuals in place. They take a step back. To be fair, Josh Kroenke, obviously, I don't think he's a football expert. I think he leaves the geniuses, but he's taking a more hands-on approach. Can't lie, Arteta, your wider team, is down to you at the club to find these stars, find the stars of tomorrow. You know, get us into a new realm. You know, actually improve the low market, improve us at sales, find these difference makers. It's down to you lot. Because Arteta's been here long enough. You know what's available and what's not and how we approach things. But you took this job, so you know what we're doing. You lot gotta make it happen. Because you don't just get to the summer and we're talking about signings and this and that. You lot are planning for months and months. How much is our net spend this season, excluding Hincapié? And give yourself, can't lie, my boy. You're gonna have to Google that. Do you think we could be cheap? Julian, I can't say his name, but the Mexican. Nah, I'm not on that. I hope Wanyeri's got a. I don't know, but I hope Wanyeri's got a part to play, man. With 1 year left, what is his real value? Then he's world class. But you can't be saying 150 mil with a nearly expired contract. And that's one where you need to know Vini's true intentions. Like, do you genuinely want to stay at Real Madrid? Do you want to move on? Do you want to run down your contract? Bro, I think you're looking at 100 plus. You probably are looking at that. Haaland earns 500k excluding bonuses, 150 million plus 500k, and 100% of Vini's image rights for him, which is 50% for him at Real Madrid. All we need is Vini to say no to Madrid new contract offers. I'm sorry, I would not agree to 100% of your image rights. You can't have that. What the fuck? From a business point of view, that's shit for Arsenal. We're not really making peace from none of the shirts, none of the adverts. Unfortunately, it has to be done. We need some of that. Big up yourself, 876, man. I don't think it could affect the deal, but I'm not being funny. Yeah? I'm not accusing anyone of anything, yeah. But we've all had jobs, or whether you're in jobs, whether you're in school, whether you've played football, you've been around racists or people that discriminate. To a degree, you have to get on with it. And football ain't the same. You think half of these academy coaches don't have some backdated thoughts around and make some wayward comments? Bearing in mind, football is so progressive and it's romantic, but it's also one of the worst aspects in life that's in the Stone Ages. You're gonna have to get on with it, bro. You're going to have to. And I hate to be this guy, but you could argue Bro, you've defo faced hella racism in Brazil. You're discriminated against in Spain all the time. And like obviously the Jose thing, and even that with Jose, did it disappoint me? Yes. And I'm not defending Jose by any stretch of the imagination. But at the end of the day, he's gonna back his players. I've said this to you before. Nobody cares, bro. Suarez was racist. Nobody cares. John Terry was racist. Nobody cares. Remember, nobody looks down at Alex Ferguson over the whole before my time, but this Peter Schmeichel thing. No one cares. The world's just gonna spin, bro. That could be it. It might not be. It could be a factor. And it's probably a factor I underrate. But if wrong, it'd be conflicted. So I'm not reading too much into that, if I'm honest. Because then by that logic, every black player should want a cut from Real Madrid. And do I think that they actually got a few black players? They're not going to cut, are they? Or anyone else? Like, I think it's Rodrigo would be a better fit than Vini. He's not fit, so it's a myth, man. 10 million short is all it takes to tank a transfer for us, same with Sesko. A couple million for Monger, innit? I don't want Vini, he's good, but not worth it. We need a player that can be a team player, not a superstar that's selfish. He's a team player for Real Madrid. He has to be a team player. And you know what? I think he would be a team player if you're the star man, if I'm honest with you. We have to be careful of doing all of that. Romano throwing hands. Bro, the journalists are getting into it. And you know what? Romano, you are annoying. And I think you've reached that level. You don't need to do the engagement farming, but the amount of journalists that jumping on the bandwagon. When I woke up today, I was like, huh? I had to check that was actually Romano's account because you know people are weirdos on the net. City have a big plan for the right wing position next summer in one of Yamal and Elise. That's why I think they're passing on Vini. Yeah, but Vini's better on the left. And to be fair, I think you got more of a chance of Elise than Lamine Yamal. My question, DG, is not Vini pay package or his transfer fee or will he track back? My question is whether Vini will improve as a player at this club or not. How many players have we seriously improved? We've improved plenty of players. I know I need Arteta to do a lot more, but Odegaard's gone from being a football manager done with the greatest of respect at Real Madrid to somewhat a household name or the most important in a top 5 league he's ever been. Fair enough, not everyone's been doing it this season, but he's definitely improved. Saliba's gone from strength to strength. Magalhaes, you look at the start of Arteta's reign to him to now, he's done that. Luis Skelly's got better. You know, there's plenty of it. Bakayo's had a standout. See, Martinelli's had a standout. See, we have improved players. There's things we need to do to platform our attackers, but this whole we don't improve players. Rice has improved. Like, when we signed Rice, I thought, you're sick anyways. You're top player anyways. Somehow, you look like the Arsenal Declan Rice, and I granted West Ham fans would disagree, but the West Ham Declan Rice and the Arsenal Declan Rice, he makes the West Ham Rice look meaty. I'd love Ellie Junior Croupier as well, man. Dreaming is free, Richard, but the hustle is sold separately. You don't sign players like Vini to improve them. Obviously, everyone can improve, but you're 26. What you are right now is good. We just want you to be the difference maker, to be a leader, and all of that kind of stuff. If I'm brutally honest. Yeah, I think, Rojo, that's his name. They're sporting you. There's nothing wrong with saying that Rodgers is not worth 117 mil. This is my thing. That I'm allowed to be giddy about getting Rodgers and vexed that you didn't. And also feel, okay, 170 million. I keep repeating the same things. Just make sure that window is closed and whoever these guys are, positions have been addressed. Because if I'm honest with you, it's unacceptable if left wing is not addressed. I understand, there's no players out there. I don't with left wing because that's been there for 2-3 years now. You've had 2-3 years. I'm not hearing nothing else. And to the point where, I'll be real. I think if you don't, and I know Zolis is here, and forget stars and all this stuff. If you do not sign a centre mid and a left winger, you're not serious to me about retaining this prem. And again, regardless of if we sign anyone or no one, bro, we've got a target on our heads. We've got a rollie on our thingy. We've got a chain. Everybody wants to snatch it from us. There's 19 other teams that would love to see us fail. They're not fucking taking this prem without taking it over our dead bodies. We're dying for this because we have got to where we need to get to. You don't want to give this up now. It's not stopping now. So yeah, man. For those asking if Arsenal can afford the deal, KSC pay Jokic an average base salary of 55 million a season. They know how to do big deals. Rock Nation is American. KSC is American. There won't be contract agreement issue if Vinny gives the green light. Vinny's got to give the green light. Vinny is worth the bread. Yes, he has a year left, but he's worth 120. If he had 4 or 5 years left, he'll be 200 plus. This shows we're a serious team. And obviously, assuming we sign Vinny and he signed to a 4 or 5 year deal, at some point, within 80, like if we sign today, within 18 months to 2 years, you're going to have to get into contract renewals again. So whatever he's on there, like if he helps us win the Premier League and the Champions League, and obviously the spotlight will be a bit bigger because Vinny don't need a platform. He's already a household name, but you are the guy at Real Madrid, but you're the guy. You're like, we're not going to have an Mbappe, a Jude Bellingham, a this, and that, and the third. So yeah, smash the likes if you haven't. I had my doubts on Vini earlier, but the World Cup changed my mind. I saw him tracking back. I think he's, I can't say that word, malleable in terms of curbing the petulant behavior. He's already top 5 in the world. So how can your thoughts be on if he would improve or not? Everyone's allowed an opinion, man. It's funny how no one knew about Vini until Ornstein's bomb, and then suddenly the other journalists are telling about the situation. These journalists are shameless. 100%. One gets out, like one drop. It's a nasty example, an horrible one, but it's like David Ornstein's done a shit and announced I'm shitting, and all these journalists are like flies to the thing because now everybody knows stuff. Yeah, he's in Jamaica on holiday, bro. Vinny, come on, bro. Come on, bro. Come on, man. There ain't no yard shops in Spain. And if it is there, Banduli, man, come. The dream is free, the hustles. I like the illusion. I like the dream. But the reality, I'm optimistic, but I'm not blindly so optimistic. And if I'm on, if I had to put my Vinny optimism on a scale of 1 to 10, it should be minus, but let me 1. Genuinely 1. Just because of the too much dominoes that need to fall. If he came out and said, I am leaving Real Madrid, I want to go, he's doing interviews and all of this, my optimism goes up. Because we don't know. This could all be, there is a reality where this is all bullshit. Like where Arsenal like him, but it's not going anywhere. Where Vinny's entertaining with Arsenal, but it's all contract BS. We don't know. So we just got to prepare for every eventuality, man. 6 more likes and we've hit 100 people. Let's get those likes to 100. Yeah, man, that is what it is. I think the finances are there, but dominoes need to fall. And that's one thing that I would say that's annoying, if I'm honest. Like, without knowing anything, because this could all be BS. If I was Berto or at Arsenal, you think I'd come out and tell, like, sometimes they must read articles or stuff or see it on their phone and they just, bearing in mind, if I'm Berto or Arteta, I know what's going on and think it's it's 100% bullshit. If every executive of every Premier League club came and this rumor's true, that's not, you'd have certain things to say, but I don't know, man. Like what we're told and what's actually happening in the world of football are different things, and we learn this every year. Like we was led to believe Rodgers is our thing. He's gone Chelsea. There's another one, PSG. It was a formality. They were going to get Yan Diomande. Somehow he's at Real Madrid now. Bernardo Silva was going Barcelona. Somehow that's changed. You just never know. You just never know what's going on. So we can talk. We can have a discussion. It's a chance for us to link up and whatnot, especially as the new season isn't here yet. But beyond that, there's nothing to be excited about, bro. Or not excited about. It's as you were type of thing. We need to get some sales out the door. Nelson and Jesus on the way. Too much money and hardly even plays. Fabio Vieira's time is up too. I mean, he was linked with Forest. Hamburg come and talk about him. I understand that there's things going on and juggling multiple plates, but yeah, we do. And all 3 of them got a year left on their deal. I'd love to know the total cost of all 3 players because what? Jesus on like over 200. Nelson's on 100, so let's call that 350k a week collectively. Fabio Vieira must be on a 40-50. Slap that in there. You get where I'm going. Plus, you saved money as well. Big up Trossard, but Trossard obviously is probably going to be on a lot more wages than Zolis. So yeah, man, we do need to get outgoings, man. It's long, especially big up Nelson, but it's long now, man. Everyone forgets you're at the club. You're here on loan, and then yeah, man. That Vinny Saka wing pairing is so beautiful. It's the foot manager thing would be amazing. Big up yourself, G. I'm trying not to get my hopes up, but everything is pointing towards Vinny joining the Mighty Gunners. I hope so. I really want you lot to sit here and say, DG, be more optimistic. And as I keep saying, I didn't think we'd get Ozil, Alexis, Aubameyang, Rice. There's plenty of others. So maybe I'm a positive omen, but it's not that I'm negative or positive. There's nothing to suggest to move either way. So as you were. At Real Madrid, he has 50-50 image rights split, but he wants more of a favourable deal like Mbappe 80-20. In the Prem, players retain 100% of their personal endowments revenue. Go do your thing then. What's this about Martinelli playing hardball about leaving? Dude, you need to cut. If I'm Martinelli, I'm not going nowhere yet. And to be honest with you, if I'm brutally honest, I know certain things can move. I'm not selling Martinelli until you bring in another left winger. You say it's all fun and games saying sell Martinelli. Martinelli goes today and there's no Barcola, there's no Vinicius, there's no this one, that one. You got Zolis on his J's and Eze and a couple of people that could be moved across. DJ, I feel you. Let's say we get Vini. Do we do another parade at M5? Well, we should be there already. Did you not see my Instagram? We should be there already. I was in Finsbury Park today. We should be doing that regardless. It's mad seeing everyone else moving like they discovered the infinite money glitch whilst we move like a Serie A club in administration. Who is our plan B for Vini? I wish I had answers. I don't know. Context of improvement here. If Vini could not get Ballon d'Or at Stat Real Madrid, what gives fans an indication that he could win Ballon d'Or at Arsenal? We don't have any Ballon d'Or conversations. He'd have to win the Champions League, and he got shagged because he should have won it. Then obviously Rodri came around and whatever. You're obviously more likely to win that Real Madrid because they're more likely to win the Champions League. I know people could say, "Oh, we've been doing what we're doing in the last 2 years." And let's be honest, I'm not suggesting anything, but let's have it right. Everyone would say the Ballon d'Or is a popularity contest, and it's a political award, like all awards, bro. Like there's all these journalist awards, all these YouTube awards, all these. It's never just white and black. There's all vested interests and fuckery going on, man. And to be honest, fuck the Ballon d'Or, man. Henry got shagged off that twice, so. Vini would be good at Arsenal because he's a 1v1 demon. Man could take 4 players on in one mad run. If it can happen, I'm here for it, but I still don't think it will happen. Zolis would be good. Then do you know what? Vini is one thing, but you can't. Well, you can because there's 10 outfield players, 11 on the pitch, but you can't double, triple up against Saka and him. And if you do, there's other men that can go through. And Real Madrid could actually. If I'm Real Madrid, obviously the contract thing changes things in it, but. You've got Mbappe, you've got Vinicius, you've got Jude Bellingham, you've got them man in the pivot, you've got whoever the hell you want on the right. Bro, that's an exciting team, you know. Just needs to be coached. So, yeah, man. It's a techie one, man. It really is a techie. It really is a techie one. But you have to see, man. Like, if this happens, I'll lose it. I don't think it will. Bro, if we ever got Vinicius Jr., I wouldn't know what to say. It would be bigger than, you remember when we got Ozil on deadline day? I don't know what would happen in North London, innit? Like, Vinny, we would love you more than Real Madrid love you because we're not used to these kind of man. We're Arsenal. We're not no little boys in this thing, but we love you, man. Like, yeah. Come, man. You've done everything at Real Madrid. Come, man. You're going in this. Come over here, man. Come over here. And then I start waking up. You lot are making me a bit giddy for no reason. I don't want to join you lot. DG, great stream. You discussed this all drama perfectly. If I have, it's because of you lot. Without you lot, the thing's dead. To be honest, DG, that is my original concern. We sign players who usually say F the Ballon d'Or, but in this case, we virtually sign a player who dreams about it 24/7. But how do we know this? I disagree. You don't think what player, even players that can never be in those conversations, who doesn't want to win the Ballon d'Or? Of course he wants it. Everyone wants it. But we can't bend. The only way you could do that is if you rise up a World Cup, Champions League, and even that is techie. I like that with Vinny. I don't subscribe to this attitude bullshit and all of this stuff. But does he have a chip on his shoulder and a bit of a shit houser on the pitch? Yes, but what top athlete doesn't? And you could argue the ones that overly come across as humble, they're probably the biggest cunts off the camera. Whatever you need to be you. We win the PR on Champions League and Vinny in that Ballon d'Or conversation even more because everyone watches Arsenal. Be a superstar Arsenal for the next 3-4 years. Then off you go to Saudi for 100 M's. If you could only get 2, I like this question so far, where this is going, Chris. If you could only get 2 of Vini, Alvarez, and Bruno, who would you choose? Let me think about this. Let me not just do the bias thing. Because if you get Alvarez, him and Jokeris, they can mash it. Plus, you got Kai and Marino. Bruno G's one. Regardless, Bruno, we need to rise up Bruno Gomoras. I can't lie, that's one. What am I thinking about this shit? Vinicius Jr. and Bruno Gomoras. Boys from Brazil. You see the shirt? Chair, talk to them. This cat needs to fuck off. Trying to climb in my window. That would be quite eventful for you lot on the stream. Yeah, man, Vinny. Come on, man. Them two. I would like a striker. I wouldn't say I need one. I think we need a left wing. I think we need a centre mid. But DJ, if we sign Vinny, won't that take away minutes from Solis? I see what you did there. Vinny and Bruno. We love players like Kai, VG, Noni, Vinny. We will love you like you've never been loved before, and you will bleed Guna. Come to M5, Vinny. Get Bruno and Vinny Jr. Vinny and Bruno. I hear it, man. Stupid question. The boys from Brazil. Though Vinny and Alvarez is a game changer for sure. I think Alvarez would be. I think Alvarez is the ideal striker for. Well, I'd say the ideal striker for everyone, including Arteta, would be Haaland, didn't it? Like, it would be Haaland. But I think Julian Alvarez, the way he presses, drops in midfield, I think that's the one, isn't it? Like, I think you've got a bit of Jokeris in that you're a goal scorer. You can do the Kai Havertz thing. Obviously, you're better than them, but you get where I'm going. You're like the fusion of both. But as much as I like Alvarez, and I wanted him when he was at River playing, when we had that little stage where we was grabbing people from City, not that we got many, I wanted him. Some of you rightly do say, oh, you look at his La Liga. And on one hand, people like to say stats aren't everything. And then on the other hand, they want to use stats. But rightly so, you're like, oh, he had a bit of an underwhelming season last year. I know there's mitigating factors, but yeah. Because that's how I feel about Barcola. I'd be happy with Barcola. I rate him. I just think certain people, and we know we're not getting him, but certain people have this image of him that's not there. And these people will be the first to draw him out. Because I don't think people read and watch. Easy, you get the 2 Brazilians. How do you feel about paying a little less and 100 mil release clause of Nico Williams or paying? But if any conversation around Vinicius and Nico Williams, I'm going to go Vinicius. Saka and Vini would empty those mid blocks and create room for Bruno and Odegaard to wreak havoc. I can see Mikel's vision. If you add Alvarez, it's actually over for this league. I'd love to get all 3, man. Declan's hammy's dropping like crazy. Please, we need Bruno G and Vini Jr., Alvarez, Krupi, Endrick next year, bro. Endrick? We need to do the Wenger thing, because if you've read Ozil's autobiography, do you know how many times he tried to grab him? He tried to get him when he was 17, 18. He tried to get him at Werder Bremen before he went Real Madrid. I remember reading his autobiography, and he said, Wenger said, all right, Cole, go do your thing, Real Madrid. Stay in contact. You saw the times that flew. Oh, you remember me when Real Madrid didn't get rid? Yeah, do that with Endrick. They got SI. If you look at the data, Alvarez is insane in tight blocks, perfect for unlocking low blocks. It's why everyone wants him, even though he only got 8 goals. He transforms us. SI, I hate your team. No, I don't hate Man United. I hate Man United fans, but big up yourself. And no, it's just really the Peckham Reds. Where do you stand on resting Rice, Saka next season? Are you one of them that thinks they shouldn't come back till September? Or do you see them starting straight away now? Chris, you're asking some good questions. I'm conflicted. I'll be real. I'm conflicted. Them man need rest. We need to be able to pivot away from them, especially Rice, because we've shown we can do that without Saka, as much as I love them. I need them to be fit. We have to worry about wear and tear. But at the same time, brother, we're trying to retain a Premier League. We need them. So I don't think Rice will be out till September. I think we'll see Rice before the first international break. Saka the same. Saliba, we're waiting on your return, innit? I don't care about his attitude. Ronaldo, Zlatan, Balotelli, Rooney, Scholes, none of these players had great attitudes on the pitch, but they're all great players. And the thing is, people think just because you're a bit of a cunt on the pitch, you haven't got humility. I've never seen, within the realms of shithousery, all of that cool, but Vinny don't disrespect his opponents. He clearly has humility for the team. Does all that charity work and things. And one thing I'll always, there's many players that actually I think have attitude problems, but one thing I'll always push back on is this attitude thing. Because everybody can say it and like nobody knows you as a person. It's just one of those things. If you just say it and enough people start saying it, it becomes the status quo, if that makes sense. Simple, Bruno and Vinny. Look forward to shopping in Chelsea's bins, mate. Now I'm just trying to piss you lot off, man. But we'll have to see, man. On that note, though, I'd love to stay with you lot, but I've got to go do some live admin. So the first thing is, thank you to anyone who's watching this live, anyone on the replay, all of you lot participating in the chat, the members, the mods, all of you lot, man. I love this community. One day we're going to get to 100K. Most importantly, I hope you and your loved ones are in great health, and long may that continue. And yeah, we're always here, man. Hopefully the next time we're live and we're linking up, we've actually got like somebody holding, I know these ain't the new season shirts, but holding the shirt. But until then, the dream is free. The hustle is sold separately. If you haven't subscribed or smash the like button, what are you doing? Most importantly, stay blessed, stay safe, one love. Turn on them notification bells. Always